Alright guys, so I just want to give a quick shout out. Alright guys, welcome back. So today I have your breakfast casserole. So all you need for this recipe is black pepper, salt, olive oil, bacon, 2 things of sausages. You can use regular sausages. I didn't have them on hand, so I'm going to use these brown serve ones. Onions, potatoes. So first thing you want to do to get it out of the way is you're going to want to dice up your onions and cut up your potatoes. Your onions, you're going to want them at a normal cut. And the potatoes, you want them very, very thin, like paper thin, if you guys can see that. Then once you have that underway, you're going to want to come over here and grill up your bacon. As your bacon is grilling up, you're going to want to put your sausages. And you're going to cook your sausages the way the box says to cook them, which is 2 minutes for every 10 sausages. So once you have your sausages all cooked, you're going to want to put that on the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our frying pan on medium heat. We're going to throw our potatoes and our onions in. We are now going to let our potatoes and our onions sweat a little bit and cook in its own juices. So we're going to let it sit here at medium heat for about 5 minutes. You just want to make sure you stir it up a little bit. That way everything mixes in together. Now let's check on our bacon. So I did put a paper towel over just to allow the paper towel to absorb the grease. That way your bacon will not be greasy, because you do not want greasy bacon. As you can see, it's a little bit greasy still, so I'm just going to pat it down. You do want it to be a little bit undercooked. Not completely undercooked, but just a little bit, because it will cook in the stove. So we'll just pat it down to make sure that all the grease is out. We'll actually go around and mix it up, because like I said, you don't want any grease. That's going to take away from the flavor of the meal. Now this can be used for both a breakfast and a dinner, or a dinner and a breakfast. I am making it for dinner tonight, and then we'll eat the leftovers for breakfast. But as you can see, my bacon looks very dry right now, and that's exactly what you want. So now that our potatoes and our onions have been cooking for 5 minutes in their own heat, their own flavor, we are going to go ahead and mix it up again. You hear that sound, guys? That sizzling sound is exactly what you want to hear. So now, we are going to go ahead and put in a half a cup of olive oil. If you want to put a little bit more in, that's completely fine. It's very healthy. It's a very good oil to cook with. So never be afraid of using too much of it. And then we're actually going to turn it on low. We're going to let that sit there for another 5 minutes. As far as pepper goes, you're going to want about 5 shakes. So you're just going to want to go ahead and mix that pepper in. Now this is not included in the 5 minutes of cooking time. That will be started once you put the salt in. And for salt, you're going to want 6 shakes. Then once again, you're going to go ahead and mix that up. Once it is all mixed up, now you're going to go ahead and start your timer. So once again, you're cooking it for 5 minutes. And you're just going to let it sit there and absorb the flavor. So now that our timer has gone off, now let's check on our bacon. So I did put a paper towel over just to allow the paper towel to absorb the grease. That way your bacon will not be greasy, because you do not want greasy bacon. As you can see, it's a little bit greasy still, so I'm just going to pat it down. You do want it to be a little bit undercooked. Not completely undercooked, but just a little bit, because it will cook in the stove. So we'll just pat it down to make sure that all the grease is out. We'll actually go around and mix it up, because like I said, you don't want any grease. That's going to take away from the flavor of the meal. Now this can be used for both a breakfast and a dinner, or a dinner and a breakfast. I am making it for dinner tonight, and then we'll eat the leftovers for breakfast. But as you can see, my bacon looks very dry right now, and that's exactly what you want. So now that 5 minutes is up, we are going to move our potatoes and onions off the stove, away from the heat. We're going to let it sit there and kind of breathe a little bit for 2 minutes. So our next step is going to be taking a ladle, scooping some out, and just throwing them around the pan. We'll go back and we'll actually even this out once we have the bottom layer done. You want to remember not to use all of it on the bottom, because you're going to need some for the top as well. So you're just kind of shuffling it around, filling in some empty spaces. So on top of that, you're just going to layer your bacon, just like so. So now we're going to go ahead and throw our potato and onion mixture on top of the bacon. Now that we have our onions and potatoes on top of our bacon, which is on top of another layer of onions and potatoes, which is on top of a layer of sausages. Alright, that's a mouthful, isn't it, guys? Just going to sprinkle a little bit more salt and pepper on, just for flavor. Not too much. Once again, just for flavor. Now you're going to want to cook it on 350 for 20 minutes. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick shout out real quick to Vicky Travel Cooking and Family. This is her channel right here on YouTube. She has been an extremely active member on my channel. And when I put out the video asking you guys if you would like if you'd like me to make a Reese's cake, or if you'd like me to make a breakfast casserole, she had wrote a breakfast casserole. So as a thank you to her for being so active on my channel, I went ahead and I made the dish that she had chosen. These are just some of her delicious recipes. But definitely go give her a look and subscribe to her channel. So here it is, you guys, your breakfast casserole. Look at all of that goodness. I'm zooming in for you guys. I'll zoom out slowly.